Hey Lemon Squeezies, Baby Love thing is 11 weeks today, which is the size of a fig. So we just wanted to check in with you guys and let you know how we're doing and what's been going on with us lately. So as far as week 10 is concerned, before that even, shout out to all my new subbies. Thanks for becoming a part of the channel. I know I've gotten a lot of you guys in the last week and a half, so I just wanted to make sure that I acknowledged you, and I always follow back. As far as symptoms are concerned, watery mouth is definitely back. That's something that's really been bothering me lately. I've been having less nausea, feeling a lot better. Less nausea, but I did actually throw up twice last week. Once was, there was a mosquito trying to get me. Once was here at work. I was trying to hold out and wait for delivery food to come in, and I got really, really sick. And the second time was getting dressed for work one morning. I was brushing my teeth and brushing my tongue. I completely lost it. I tried to pull it together, but I wasn't able to. My appetite is definitely back. I'm having stronger cravings now. I really wanted spaghetti last week. I was able to get that yesterday. Shout out to Papa's mom for looking out for me on the spaghetti. Chicken sandwiches. I've been eating a lot of those. Oatmeal grits, really, really carb-filled things that'll really stick to me and stay with me for longer. I've been eating a lot of that kind of stuff. I've been a lot more hungry though, on a regular basis. The other night I actually had 2 dinners. I ate and then got hungry again probably about an hour later. So been trying to make sure that I have lots of snacks and stuff like that available to me in case after a meal I still am hungry. My boobs have definitely gotten bigger, but they're a lot less tender, thank God. Still going to be time for new bras soon. And I've been taking more frequent potty breaks at night. Before I was only taking one, probably about 6 in the morning. Now I'm having 2, probably usually between 3 and 4 and 6. I've been getting up and using the restroom. So that's pretty much it as far as symptoms are concerned. Nothing else extra that I can think of off the top of my head. But yesterday was our first midwife appointment. That was quite exciting. I haven't seen the baby since 6 weeks, and I haven't had a checkup or anything since then. Well, I tried to go in and have one at 8 weeks, if you guys remember, but the office was too busy, so I ended up having to cancel that and wasn't able to get back into the office. But then I was also freaking out because you guys know I have a thyroid issue, and I only had about a week and a half left of my medication before I would have needed a refill on that. So my insurance information finally came in, and they send you a booklet with everybody that's included in their network. So I started calling around and found this really nice midwife, and she didn't have a really long waiting time or anything for me to actually get in to be seen. So I decided to go ahead and set up a consultation with her, and that was yesterday. So we went in to go meet her, and it started off pretty basic. You do your new patient paperwork. They got my height, my weight, checked my blood pressure, did a urine test just to confirm my pregnancy. And then the nurse came in and did family history and things like that. Medicine allergies and all of that kind of stuff. And then the doctor herself came in. She was very, very nice, very down to earth, very straightforward. She's very blunt. She was able to let us know everything that she was willing to offer us in the practice that she was in. And she also let us know what she would not be able to offer us, which early on was a concern for me, because as far as I understood, the difference between a midwife and a doctor was that midwives are a little bit more towards the natural side of the labor, and they also don't like to intervene with the process of labor. And I don't necessarily have my mind made up at this point on whether I want an epidural or not. That's something that I really feel I'm not going to know until I'm in that moment, with this being my first child. So that's something that I definitely wanted to know. I at least would have the option for if I so chose it later on down the line. And I made that very clear to her. And she's like, I'm 100% for women choosing their own path as far as med store and labor is concerned. So if you say you want an epidural, I'm not going to try to talk you out of it. That's totally up to you. The way she explained herself is that she's right down the middle. She's half midwife and half doctor. They do address her as doctor in the office, which was a little confusing for me at first. I wasn't sure how I was to address her, but we got that out of the way rather quickly. She made us feel very welcome as a same-sex couple, very respected. She basically asked me what our boundaries were up front, if there was anything that we felt she should know about us and things like that. But like I said, very straight to the point. She kind of reminds you of a guy, because most women are more emotional, but she's very straight to the point. If it's something that needs to be said, she's going to spit it out. And I really respect that about her, because especially when it comes to my child, I want you to shoot me straight. Like, I don't need nobody to bullshit me. So she asked, if we wanted to become a part of her practice, or if that's something that we wanted to spend some more time thinking about. I told her at that point I was completely comfortable with staying a part of the practice, and if I had any issues in the future, I'd be sure to let her know. But like I said, I was kind of anxious to see the baby. It had been, 5 weeks almost since I had seen the baby or heard a heartbeat or anything. So I was anxious to get a doctor. That way we could start moving towards that direction. And then, like I said too, I need my refill on my meds soon. So we decided to go ahead and hang out, and she was like, well, we can go ahead and start with an exam, and if you would like, we can try to hear the baby's heartbeat today. And that's something that I totally didn't expect. That made me very, very happy. So she left out the room for me to get undressed or whatever. She came back and she did a full body exam. And during the vaginal exam, she mentioned to me, she was like, did you know that your uterus is transversed? And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And she says, yeah. She says, most people's uterus, it curves to the front of their body, and yours seems to be curved to the back. She's like, did your fertility doctor ever mention that to you? And I'm like, no, she never did. They say that it's pretty normal. It's just the way that my body is particularly made. And I was like, well, maybe she just made note of it in her notes and never brought it up to me, but she never had said anything to me about it. And she's like, wow, that's weird. So we moved on. She did a breast exam and things like that. She did a basic STD panel. And even though I had all of that done at my fertility clinic, they have an on-site lab there. They've got like a dentist, they've got eye doctors, they've got like people that you can talk to if you're depressed. Like, they offer a lot of different things, and to be seen at the clinic, that's all included. So any other services that you need, they're there to offer to you as long as you're a part of the practice. So shortness of breath, that's another symptom. I always notice it in my videos when I go back to watch them, but I'll never mention it. Shortness of breath has been kicking my ass for a long time now. Okay, so anyway, so we did the full body, we did the STD panel, whatever, and then she was like, well, I'm going to go get a Doppler and I'll be back. Now, keep in mind, I'm 11 weeks today, and I know that's usually about the same time that you can start to hear the baby on the Doppler, but I also know that I've heard if a woman is a little bit more fluffy in the abdominal area, that sometimes it takes a couple more weeks before you can hear a heartbeat. So she comes in. Okay, before I start this story, let me put this out there. BLT is perfectly fine. Everything's okay. I don't want to scare anybody. I don't want anybody crying or freaking out or anything like that. And I learned that yesterday because I texted Lolly and I was telling her what happened as soon as I left the office, and I freaked her completely out. So before we go any further, everything's okay. Okay, so she came in with a Doppler. We tried that, no heartbeat. Like, we couldn't hear anything. And she was, being really patient with it and moving really slowly and trying different positions and things like that, and she couldn't find it. So she's like, maybe we should just go ahead and do a full-on ultrasound. So I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. And she went and got the ultrasound machine, and she warned me. She was like, it's an older machine. This is not something that we usually do here in the office. We have another office that we refer you out to that does like all the 3D imaging and all that kind of stuff. So my machine is kind of crappy, but we're going to see what we can't see. I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. So we start doing like a regular belly ultrasound, and she had a really hard time finding the baby. So in the back of my mind, I'm starting to freak out. I'm like, what the muff is going on? So eventually she finds the baby. Papa actually was the first to see the baby. Again, I don't know how she always sees the baby before the doctors do. Like, she can tell them where the baby is. Like, look, there's the baby right there. So she looks at the baby and she goes, wow, for this to be a 10-week pregnancy, the baby's a lot smaller than I would have expected. And even myself, when I saw the baby, I'm like, wow, that's about the same size as it was when I saw it last time at 6 weeks. Like, I thought the baby was supposed to be rapidly growing. So she's looking around and she's like, I see the baby there. There's definitely a baby in the sack. But I'm having a really hard time finding a heartbeat. And she's like, I don't want to freak you out or anything, but I just want to be honest with you. I'm having a really hard time finding a heartbeat. So that's when I got really, really nervous. And Pop's just standing there smiling. She's having a good time. She's like, oh, the baby, blah, blah, blah. So I'm trying to hold it together. And the doctor, she's just, going over and going over and going over, trying to see if she can get a better picture. And she's like, this is not looking good. And she's like, I know that you work a lot, but I might need you to take some time off work tomorrow and go into this other office and have this ultrasound because I need to know that everything's okay. And she saw that I was very worried. So she was like, you know, if it's okay with you, why don't we just go ahead and do a transvaginal one while you're here? I don't want to send you home with worry. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight without knowing for myself. So why don't we just go ahead and get it out the way? I'm like, perfect, please, let's do it. So as she goes out to go and get the transvaginal probe for the ultrasound, she goes, you know what? With your uterus being flipped back the other way too, that might be another reason why we can't find the baby, because the baby might be hiding. So she's like, try not to freak out, but you know, we're going to look and see. So Pop's like, how are you? And I'm like freaking out. I'm like, I'm very nervous. I'm very anxious. I'm trying to hold it together. I don't want to have like this complete breakdown in my midwife's office the first time I meet her, but this is serious business for me. And I'm just praying like crazy. I'm laying there and I'm like, Lord, please don't have brought me this far for this to happen. You know, what am I going to do? Do I really have to start this whole process over? Like, I thought we were past this. Like, what's going on? So she comes back in and she brings a nurse with her. And when the nurse comes in the room, she has this very, very, like, worried look on her face. Like, she's mortified. Like, oh, my God, I really don't want to have to tell this woman that her baby doesn't have a heartbeat at 11 weeks. So they come in and she gets right to work. She's like, come on, let's get it over with. So as soon as she puts the probe in, there's BLT. Big as hell. Not only is the baby there and has a very, very strong heartbeat, but this kid is like Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't know what other way to explain it. Like, the baby's like flipping around and spinning and just head over heels, and then there's just arms and legs just going everywhere, and it made me feel so much better. So then of course the tears start flowing because I feel so much more relieved. And that's one thing she had said when she was doing the regular ultrasound. She's like, well, I think I just saw the baby move, so that's a good sign. You know, babies without heartbeats don't move, but I just don't see a heartbeat. So once we did the transvaginal, she said the size of the baby looked completely normal. The heartbeat is nice and strong. She wasn't able to give me like beats per minute or anything, and I think that was just because we were all so relieved that it kind of slipped our mind. But I definitely felt a lot better after that, and that baby was going crazy. Like, I normally don't drink any soda or anything. For the most part, the only thing I've been drinking is water and apple juice. And yesterday with lunch, I had a caffeine-free Pepsi, and that had to be what it was, because I don't know why else my kid would be like bouncing off the walls. That baby was like kung fu fighting, I swear, like do 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 do, like it was crazy, like everywhere. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I wish that you know, I was calm enough to have thought about recording it, but in a situation like that, the only thing I could worry about was actually finding the baby and the heartbeat. I wasn't even thinking about my phone or recording or YouTube or any of that kind of stuff, so forgive me for that. But everything is fine. So from there, we were able to move on. Let's see. After that, we did a blood draw just to check my iron levels, make sure I'm not anemic or anything like that. She gave me a pregnancy packet, which basically had information in it about the first trimester and the second as well, because I'm very close to my second. It gave me information about the hospital at which she delivers and what perks they offer, which include like a celebratory lunch the day after you have your baby. You can choose whatever you would like to eat, and they have like a button on the wall where after the baby is born, Papa can push the button and it'll play Brahms Lullaby all through the hospital and let everybody know that our baby is here. They also have like little ceramic tiles that you can purchase. I guess it's like a donation to the hospital, but you purchase the tile and you can put the baby's first, middle, and last name in it, and like some type of picture, like probably would be like a ducky or something, or like a beach ball, and people had different stuff. And then they have a hallway in the labor and maternity ward where they hang the little pieces of tile, so it's really, really cute. I've received some prenatals, and then they went ahead and scheduled me for another ultrasound, which will be at the 3D, 4D imaging place. That'll be next Thursday. So we'll get another picture of the baby, and they also said if I bring a blank DVD that they'll be able to record it for me. So that's really awesome. And then she told me that our anatomy/gender scan would be at week 20, which will be somewhere around the beginning of February. We also requested all of my medical records be sent over from the fertility clinic. And that was really about it. So a bit of a scare, but I'm glad that everything worked out. This is the first time that I've had this much stuff to talk about with you guys, so I was really excited to do this video today. that's really about it. I'm very happy to be here, especially after everything that we went through yesterday. So definitely keep us and our small family in your prayers. Shout outs to everyone who's still trying. My heart goes out to each and every last one of you. I love you all to pieces. I've got to go. This video is getting close to 15 minutes. Take it easy, Lemon Squeezy. Bye. Okay, so I'm watching my video and I realized that I forgot to do my belly shot again. So I'm going to do that for you guys real quick, and then I'll just have to put these two videos together. So I put on a hot pink tank top so you guys could see better today. So this is my belly with a shirt on. And this is my belly without the shirt. So not much difference, but we're getting there. And that's pretty much it. Alright, see you guys later.